I didn't expect to fall in love in the middle of the jungle during a global pandemic, but one kiss by fire changed everything. My name is Vanessa. In December 2020, I was volunteering at an animal rescue center deep in the Colombian jungle. By then, all the foreign volunteers had gone home. I was 24, restless, and lonely. And then Camila walked in. She was from Bogota, about 5'5", with light brown skin, sharp eyes, and a smile so wide it seemed to brighten the entire center. She was a few years older than me, and she carried herself with this confidence that made everyone pay attention. The monkeys calmed when she entered. The staff laughed more when she was around. And me? I couldn't look away. On her first night, we sat on our beds across from each other. She didn't waste time with small talk. She just asked, "So, do you like women?" I froze. Until then, I had only ever fallen for men. But I told her honestly, I'd never ruled women out. Camila grinned, leaned back and said, "Good, then you won't be surprised if I sit close." From that moment, we were inseparable. Days filled with bandaging birds and scrubbing turtle shells. Nights stretched out watching Friends on a battered laptop. She teased me when I mispronounced Spanish words, and I mocked her dramatic retellings of soap operas. We laughed more than I had in months. One night my leg brushed hers, just a casual touch, but I felt it an electric spark that made me catch my breath. Later, I tried again, this time deliberate, and she pressed back, just slightly, but enough to let me know she'd felt it too. On New Year's Eve, we sat around a campfire. Music crackled from a speaker. Most people drifted off before midnight. By the time the new year arrived, only 3 of us remained. Me, Camila, and another staff member. I danced barefoot in the dirt. She leaned back, arms crossed, smiling like she'd been watching all along. When our companion stepped away, I leaned across the fire and kissed her. For a second, I wondered if she'd pull away. Instead, she kissed me back, her hand sliding behind my neck, pulling me closer. Later, on the dark jungle path back to our rooms, I touched her shoulder, and she turned. We kissed again under the glow of our headlamps, with stars and moon above us. It wasn't like kissing men. With them, I often felt like I was performing. This was unpracticed, raw, and real. The next morning, I woke late, disappointed to find her already at work. Later, as we walked through a sea of green to check on a sick monkey, I told her, that kiss wasn't just because of the drinks. I've wanted to do that for a while. She smiled, half relieved, half amused. I know, she said. We didn't talk about the future, maybe because we both knew the odds. But in those weeks, we pushed our beds together, cooked side by side, played endless card games, and whispered until we fell asleep. On a small boat drifting across a jungle lake, I finally asked her, "Will you be my girlfriend?" She tilted her head. "Your girlfriend? For now? For later? For always?" "For as long as it feels good," I said. She laughed and kissed me. That's the best kind of promise. 3 months later, when travel reopened, I followed her to Bogota. Her family welcomed me with noisy warmth. When I caught COVID, I spent quarantine in her childhood bedroom, her mother leaving soup at the door. But eventually, I had to return to New York. At the airport, I warned her, "I'm terrible at WhatsApp." She smirked. "Then I'll flood you with voice notes until you reply." Long distance was harder than I'd expected. Time zones, missed calls, language barriers. My mother doubted we'd last. "Long distance never works," she said. And sometimes, in the quiet stretches, I feared she was right. But Camila had a way of grounding me. When we argued, she'd take a breath and say, "Vanessa, love isn't about being easy. It's about choosing." And then she'd send me a 5-minute voice note about her morning coffee, the traffic, the smell of the air after rain. Mundane things, but threaded through with her steady voice, reminding me why I kept choosing her. 2 years later, she stepped off a plane at JFK, with 2 heavy suitcases and a partner visa. She moved into my small apartment, her clothes filling half my closet, her spices taking over the kitchen. Sometimes she grows quiet, staring out at the city she's still learning to love. That's when I remind myself. She left behind her birthplace, her family, everything familiar. My instinct is to drown us in enthusiasm, but I've learned to pause, to let her homesickness breathe. Most days, though, it feels effortless. We laugh at the same Friends episodes. We bicker over cooking pasta. We tease each other like we did in the jungle. When I think back to that first kiss by the fire, I realize love isn't about sparks alone. It's about every choice after the choice. To keep talking, to forgive, to keep building. Camila made me braver, steadier, more patient. She showed me that love isn't a fantasy of forever. It's the daily act of choosing someone, even when the distance is long, even when the city feels cold, even when the path is hard. And as I watch her stir coffee in our New York kitchen, I know with a certainty I never had back then. This is love.